Hi, welcome to YOH Crochet. My name is Anita. Thank you so much for stopping in and spending a little bit of your day with me. There are so many other channels you could be watching, and I really do appreciate that you chose to click on my video. Thanks to everyone who's been here for a while, and thanks to anyone who might be a little bit on the newer side. So, today we have episode number 3 of the Crochet Progress Reports. And I am here to tell you what I've been up to the last few weeks and what's coming up and all that fun stuff. Okay, so first, I am going to show you a very, very small Joann's yarn haul. So I was commissioned to do a giant plushy mushroom, and since I was making something that large, I wanted to use blanket yarn for it, so it would be super squishy and super soft. And I don't really keep blanket yarn here because, number one, if I make amis out of it, they turn out very big, and I have the problem of storing them. What do I do with these huge amis? Number two, the yarn itself takes up a lot of room to store, so I don't typically really use it. I used it once for an actual blanket. That's about it. Oh, I used it for some circular floor rugs for each of my nieces and nephews as well. But outside of that, I've never used it. So yes, I had to place an order. I opted for Joann's because they had, I think, a 30% off sale, and they had the colors I needed. So that's the cheapest I could find it, so I opted for Joann's. And when I got that, I broke down and got some rave yarn. Now, I really, really wanted the black and pink and the black and green, but they did not have either one of those in stock. So I'll show you what I did get. I just got 2 different colors. Okay, so I got 4 of these. And I do have a plan for it, providing I have enough. I don't know. I'm sure you've all seen the rave yarn before, but just in case you have not, it is a 4-weight. I'll hold it up so you can see. It is a 4-weight. It is, I think it's 100% acrylic. Where are you? I can't, yeah, 100% premium acrylic. 312 yards, 5.3 ounces, 295 meters, 150 grams. And this is the color Electric Citrus. And I do have plans for this, provided I have enough. And this is like way, I think, quite a bit softer than Big Twist in my opinion. And to me, it kind of looks like a light 4. I could be wrong on that. Why are you not focusing? There, it kind of did. I think it's more of a light 4. And then we got this color. All the specs are the same. I only got one of these. I just kind of wanted to see the color. And this is Cayenne Crush. Cyan Crush. I'm not sure how to say that name. But again, all the same specs. Blues and very bright pinks. So, very pretty. And then the blanket yarn I got, I cannot show you because I already used it. I got a deep red. I don't know the color name exactly. It's like a deep red. And then, well, actually, here's one of the labels. And I got, it's called Crimson. So here's a label for it. It was called Crimson. And then I got a very light beige. Again, I'm not 100%. I think it might have been called Sand. I'm not sure. And then I got a white. And I got the white in the Bernat baby blanket because they didn't have any white in the regular Bernat. But it's fine. It went together just fine. And that white, that baby blanket yarn, it sheds. It really sheds. The regular Bernat blanket yarn doesn't really shed a whole lot, but this baby blanket stuff, it shed like you would not believe. It shed like crazy. But it is quite a bit softer than the regular Bernat blanket yarn. So, And now that I've talked about that and the yarn that I use for the mushroom, Nico is moving my tripod around because he is down here by my feet, licking my feet because he's gross. I'm going to go ahead and get into finished objects. So, finished objects. So I have it here in this bag because this would be perfect size bag for it to fit in, so I can take it to work to give it to the lady who asked for it. And so it is the giant mushroom. So it is pretty big. And the pattern I used. So I was looking at a pattern. The pattern was by Thorsby Cottage Studios, or maybe it's just Thorsby Cottage. But I tried this thing like 3 different times. So the pattern she had was written for a DK weight, and I think the finished dimensions were 11 centimeters tall. So I just went ahead and used, I think, what did I use? Either a 5 or a 5.5 hook. And I just started it just to see how big it would be. And it was only going to be like a foot tall, if that. And it needed to be bigger. So I ripped it out. I started again, and I think I just went up a hook size. It still wasn't working, so I ripped it out, and then I tried double stranding. It still wasn't good enough, so I ended up tweaking the pattern. Now hers, she had 2 different mushrooms. She had one with like a triangular cap and one with a rounded cap. But the rounded cap was really flat, so it was short and flat. Like, it wasn't very tall. And I didn't think, because she wanted more like of a pillow type mushroom. So I didn't want to do that. She wanted the rounded cap, but I didn't think that flat cap was going to work very nicely. So not only did I tweak the starting, I increased 2 extra rounds on the bottom, and then I added some straight single crochet rounds in between the increasing and stuff up the stalk. And then when I came up here, I added quite a bit more straight single crochet rounds so the cap would come up taller. And she had in her pattern to slip stitch like these white lines down, but surface crochet on blanket yarn, it wasn't working for me. So, oh wait, no, she embroidered the white lines on, but I didn't feel like that would work very well with such a large ami. I felt like the lines would be kind of, how do I say it, not very secure, and if something were to get caught underneath, they would snag. So I ended up surface crocheting the lines. And surface crocheting with blanket yarn is kind of tricky, especially with such a large piece. So when I surface crocheted, it kind of brought the brown up, or the tan, and kind of twisted it together. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I guess we'll see how the person likes it. And normally I would charge, well, she initially said she wanted like 3 of these. And then she asked me how much I thought it would be, and this is before I had found a pattern. This is before I knew how much yarn I was going to make or use. This is before I knew how big this thing was going to be, and I told her no more than 50 probably. And she's like, 50? That's really pricey. Well, if it's going to be that much, just make me one. So I thought she was going to want all 3, and because I kind of wanted her to get all 3, I would make more of a profit. I told her I couldn't go lower than 35. And then I explained to her there's like $20 worth of material in this thing. I used almost a whole thing of red, almost a whole skein of the tan. I told her there's like $20 worth of materials, not to mention all the stuffing that this guy took. I couldn't go any lower than 35, and normally I would charge probably 50 to 60 for this. to anybody else. But like I said, I wanted to encourage her to go ahead and buy 2 more. So I thought if, you know, I went on the lower end, she would say, "Oh yeah, I'll buy at least 1 more," you know, but she's like, "Well, I don't know if I want more. I'll have to see how big it is, and I'm running out of room on my bed and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." I don't think she's going to buy 2 more. So this is being sold for $35, which I think is a steal, and had I known she was only gonna buy 1, I would have charged at least 40, but whatever. It is what it is. So yes, I'll go ahead and link the pattern in the description box because the mushrooms are really cute. So if you want to make, you know, little amigurumi mushrooms, they would be adorable. But like I said, this doesn't really look like either one of the patterns that is on that blog page because I tweaked it a lot. So here, if you want to see, I'll hold it back a little bit. So this is my first finished object, the giant mushroom in this box. I just did varying sizes. So the smallest one I think is 6 in a magic ring, and the largest one is, I'm not even sure, might be 36 in a magic ring, or 36, you know, increased up to 36, and then I just sewed them on. So we just got different sizes spots everywhere. Okay, so the next finished object I have is, I feel like I have more than 2, but 2 is all I'm thinking of right off the top of my head. So the second finished object I have is this lemur. And this is my design, and so I finally have this is my second try at this guy. It is all done, and the pattern is written up, and I just finished writing it up last night, and it is out to testers. So I use like this pipsqueak type yarn for tail, and yeah, I think it turned out really cute. I'm pretty happy with it. It's almost exactly like what I was envisioning. The ears, I kind of got them off center a bit. This one should be over just a little bit more, but that is okay. And then I use the yellow safety eyes. And I'll show you my first attempt at this. I think I've shown you already, but I'll show again just in case anyone missed it. Okay. So this was my first attempt. Now, when I did this, I originally wanted to use safety eyes in this one, but I got like done with the head and body, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to put the safety eyes in. Whoops. So that's why the eyes ended up crocheted, and I wasn't happy with this. So I decided I needed to redo it. So as you can see, I do like this one this pink one much better. It turned out much better. So I changed the eyes, obviously. The ears are slightly larger. The nose, I got rid of that big old black round nose, and I put a muzzle on her, and then I just embroidered the nose on and then made the mouth. So, and then the tail I did with it's kind of like a pipsqueak type yarn. It's a yarn that I had sitting around that I got from Wish a very long time ago, and I never used it. I didn't have any actual fur yarn, so that's what we opted for, and honestly that yarn sucked. I kept pulling out pieces that were broken off that were like this long. I think like 4 times that happened. Oh yeah, and then the toes are a little bit different. So I put a single crochet in between the popcorn stitches on the toes to space them out a little bit. See, these ones are all clumped up together, so we spaced the toes out on this one. Yeah, so be on the lookout for a pattern release drop video for this guy. As soon as the testers are all done, that will be coming up soon. And then I guess that's all my finished objects. I really thought I had something else, but it's gone. I showed you the baby Cardi last time, and I showed you Max the Mammoth last time, but I feel like there was something I finished. Maybe not. Okay, so now it is time for whips. So I have 3 whips that I am actively working on. One is the mosaic blankets, which I'm not sure. I might do a Mosaic Monday video. I'm not sure. If I don't do a Mosaic Monday video this week, I'll do one a couple weeks from now. So I'm not going to show that. I feel like everyone has seen it. I haven't gotten a whole lot done on it, so I think we're just gonna put that aside for now. We'll show it at a later date. So first I was making baby things, and I started some baby booties, and this was a YouTube tutorial that I was following. So I have one booty done, and I have the sole of the second done, so I will go ahead and grab that. Okay, so I think I shoved it in here in this Erin Lane Nightmare Before Christmas bag. Love it, love it, love it. So I am using this pink yarn that came from Mary Matson. It was called Nako, and oh, it is not in here. Where did I put it? The yarn is in here, but one moment. Okay, I found it. So I still have to weave in the tails. I can't find offhand the second booty that I started, but that's okay. It's just a sole. You don't need to see it. I'm gonna try to push one of the tails inside the shoe so it's not hanging out and making a mess and ruining things. Okay, so it is the Converse style boot, and there's a little bit of fuzz here. I'm going to cut that off. It's from where I was crocheting over my black end. But it's a little Converse booty. How cute. And it has the shoelaces and the little... Nico, what are you doing down there? Sorry, my dog's freaking. And the little tongue for the shoe. It's so cute. And like I said, I have the sole done for the second one. There. That's focused a little bit better. And like I said, this was a YouTube tutorial. I can't remember the name of the lady that did it off the top of my head, but I will link it, the tutorial, in the description box for you as well. And then I didn't feel like watching the tutorial, so I decided to start a new project, and this is also going to be another baby item. I did not get very far on it at all because I just started it last night. So, sorry. Alright, Zeppelin is barking. So I am using Red Heart Super Saver in Cafe Latte. And this is a very sad looking scheme, but I don't need much of this brown for what I am doing. And then I'm using, I'm not sure what this is. It had no ball band, but it's like a beigey color. And like I said, I didn't get very far, but this is what we got so far. So this is going to be a wiener dog, right? This is the nose, and I'm coming up and increasing to make the head. But it's one of those ring stacking toys, but instead of like being upright and stacking the rings, the long body, that's where the rings get stacked onto. So that's going to be baby item number 3 that I have made for my former coworker. And I don't know, this might turn out fairly large because I purchased the pattern. So this is a paid for pattern. And I wish it would say in the pattern notes before you purchase a pattern, like what size hook and what size yarn they used and the dimensions, because I always use a 4-weight yarn and a 4.0 hook. and the designer, made this with a 2.75 hook and sport weight yarn. So I think this is going to be really big, and it might be too big. I don't know if it'll be too big for a baby or what. I'm not sure, but I'm using my 4 weight yarn because I don't have any. I don't have any sport weight yarn. I don't buy it. Um, I don't use it for amis. I always use 4 weight acrylic. Um, excuse me. So I did drop down from a 4.0 hook to a 3.75. I don't think I can go much lower on a hook size than 3.75. It would be too hard to pull the yarn through and crochet, but we'll see how big it turns out. And so that is all for whips. So upcoming things. Sorry, my bra strap keeps falling down and it's driving me nuts. Upcoming things. So I talked about that design that I just finished writing up. So yes, it's being tested. I will be putting out a pattern release video, and I will probably give away a copy of the pattern in the pattern release video. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested in having a copy of the lemur. And what else? My other designs, I haven't done anything on that mosaic. I've been trying to design. I wanted to focus on getting this one done and written up, and I haven't done anything on the ladybug. I started to design. Again, I wanted to get one completed and done and written up before I worked on anything else. What else? There's something else. Oh, so Boggy Creek's going to be coming up. Well, Boggy Creek blanket time, when they start taking donations and they start doing their Boggy lives and showing the blankets that they received. That's going to be starting fairly soon. I think in August it was. So Linan from Nina's Knots, she had asked me, hey, you do those roundup videos. They seem to do pretty well. How about you do one for Granny Squares for Boggy Creek? I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. I can sure do that. And I started working on the video. I think I have the intro done and I think the first 4 squares in the video. So what I was thinking, when they start doing their lives, she said, you know, you can come on the live or whatever and, you know, talk about your video. And they thought that maybe they could just premiere it and play it during the live. But I think maybe I want to try. I know YouTube used to do this thing where you could do a live premiere of a pre-recorded video, and then, you know, there would be chat during the video and people could chat in the chat during the video. I think maybe I might try that out. Just schedule a live premiere, and then once Lynette, Nancy, and Linan are all done with their Boggy live, I could have the premiere of the video on my channel, and people could pop over there and, you know, chat. I don't know. Yeah, I might do a part 2 of the video as of the Granny Square roundup as well, because I don't know, I have quite a few Granny Squares saved and bookmarked, and some are like definitely geared towards kids, but some are a little bit more fancy. I don't know, like they're like larger squares. Oh yeah, one of the reason why Nina Linan mentioned doing this roundup video is because she is taking square donations so that people can make the squares and send them to her so she can put them together, but she needs 5-inch squares. Some of the patterns that I found, they don't specify how big the square turns out, and some of them do. Some of them are bigger than 5-inch, but you know, I think I'm going to go ahead and include some of those, because if maybe not everybody wants to make squares and send them to Lynn. Maybe they want to make squares and make their own boggy blanket. You know, maybe they don't want the more um, tedious ones where you have to sew appliques on to make like little animal faces, or maybe they don't want to do any sewing of anything like adding a smiley face to the square. Maybe they just, you know, so I'm putting different types of squares in there. Some that, you know, there aren't a bunch of color changes. You can just make them a solid, like pretty, you know, squares. Some that are fun and for kids, and some that are I don't know. I don't know if you really call them more adult, but some that are just, I can't explain it. Anyway, the squares. A square roundup video, long story short, that will be coming up soon. And what else? I ordered from this company. They're called Smartass and Sass. They used to do subscription boxes, but I don't know what happened. The company is shutting down, and they have a shop, and everything on their shop was 80% off. So I got a bunch of things from there. I don't know if you guys would want to see it or not. It's, if people are easily offended, they might not appreciate some of the humor on some of the things. I mean, the name of the company is Smartass and Sass, so that should tell you right there. But they had like $3 t-shirts. So I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to save some of it for Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, that sort of thing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone and show it, so I probably won't. And it's not like, if I show it, it's not like anyone can go to this place and order things anymore, because they're done now. They're not taking any more orders. They're completely done and shut down. So I probably, it seems kind of pointless to show it. Excuse me, I feel like there was something, oh, there was something else I wanted to mention. Okay, so, scam alert. Scam alert. So, I've been putting my Amis up on a Facebook Marketplace. Well, I've been trying to. I'm not really getting any bites. I think I put like 3 of them up. Nothing happened. Facebook keeps messaging me, "This listing has expired. Would you like to renew it? Have you sold this item yet?" No. 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 Anyway, so I was in Marketplace checking on my listings one day, and this thing popped up in Marketplace. You know, like I think like companies can like pay for ad space or something. I don't know, but in one of the little square boxes, you know, because you got different boxes that show you different things that people are selling, and in one of the boxes there was a it said Joann's store closing 80% off, and I've seen that again since then. So if you click on it, I don't recommend clicking on it. Who knows what it might do to your device. But if you click on it, it takes you to a place that says, I think the URL is something like joannstoresclearance.com or something like that. And then if you look at that front page, it says like sewing machines for like $10 or something ridiculous like that, and some of the yarns for like $1, $2. It's ridiculous. And so I closed out of there. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I actually started putting things in my cart just to test a theory, and normally when there's a big clearance sale like that, you know, you try to put something in your cart and it says out of stock, cannot ship to home, out of stock at the warehouse or whatever, and nothing said anything like that. I'm like, okay, this is bogus, which I kind of figured it was in the first place. But and then I googled Joann's scam. Yep, it for sure is a scam. So if you guys see anything like that, don't even click on it. I guess this one lady went into the store and showed the cashier there. She's like, look what I found. Is this real? And the cashier's like, no. No, 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 no. Do not. Do not. They'll take your money and they probably won't send you any product. Don't do it. She's like, our websites will always say Joann's.com. It won't say this, you know, Joann's store clearance.com, nothing like that. It's always Joann's.com. Do not do that. All right, so there is my public service announcement for the day. Scam alert, Joann's, do not, if you see that 80% off store closing, do not click on it. Just don't even risk it like I did. I clicked on it because I wanted to investigate. But I don't think it did anything. My phone's fine, and I ran an antivirus program, and nothing came up. It came up, everything's clear and good. So I still don't recommend even bothering to click on it, just to be on the safe side. Don't. And like I said, I've seen this a couple of times already. So just FYI, a heads up. Don't do it. All right. Oh, do you want to? No, I'll show that. Never mind. I'll show that when I do my pattern release video. So I think that's all I've got for you for today. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but oh well. If I am, I will talk about it next time. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye.